Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that as well because I heard you mention something a few weeks ago about getting trapped into, a title fight, and I think you said most people don't want to, throw the fight so that they don't have to be guaranteed to defend it. Was that something that
Mhm.
you witnessed or knew a guy who was under a contract like that, where if you
That
win,
well,
you automatically have to defend, and that's in their contract?
yeah, that was something they learned. I think it was with BJ Penn, right? Because BJ
Okay.
Penn won welterweight, and then he left because they offered him more money to fight somewhere else, right? And to prevent that from ever happening again, they put in the mandatory. You have to defend the title, so you win, you have to defend. That's one of the great things about the Ali Act in boxing, is that when you win a title, you're immediately a free agent.
Hmm.
So like you win a world title, you're at your most valuable. So you have earned the right to go see what you're worth on the free market.
So is that what you think happened with Ngannou then? Is like he
No,
didn't
yes,
want
that's
he didn't
that
want that?
that is what happened because of the class action lawsuit. The UFC put in um, sunset clauses into contracts, 5-year sunset clause. Which after Nagano they took that away because they realized, oh shit, guys might actually exercise their right. Nagano fought out his contract. He had 1 year left until his contract was up. He sat out, became a free agent. And then what do you know? There was actual bidding. That was the first time since maybe what mid 2000s or before that MMA promoters actually got into a bidding war over a fighter. The
Who are
only
you
time, one time it's happened in like 20 something years.
who are you thinking of in your head that happened back then?
What's that?
Who are you thinking of in your head of the person that they fought over 20
Well,
years ago?
it was probably BJ,
Okay. I was going to say
right?
maybe Fedor.
Um, yeah, but yeah, I guess yeah, you would say Fedor was in there because UFC did try to get him, but he was like, yeah, your contracts are like very restrictive and garbage, and he said no and ended up going to somebody else. But that was
Whatever.
more of them having awful contracts versus
Hmm.
not, going to the highest bidder because they probably were offering more money, but like it was so restrictive. Long term, he's like didn't want to sign a soul away.
Got to get that Brock Lesnar contract, I guess.
Keep making money off of him forever. They want to keep selling him. I think that's why they push Jon Jones so hard. Is he's the greatest, he's the greatest, he's the greatest, because they own him. They own Jon Jones, right? They own him in a way that no one was ever able to own Muhammad Ali or Bruce Lee, right? Think about if a corporation or a film studio or Don King, like one of Ali's promoters, owned everything about Ali,
What do you
right?
mean by that?
His family would never see a dime off of anything, any T-shirt, any movie, anything ever done that said Ali on it. They wouldn't make any money from that. He
So are you
wouldn't have been
saying
making that.
they have all of John Jones like likeness rights?
Yes, they own him. They own him.
Oh, I didn't know that. So,
They own
it,
they own every fighter. That was my whole thing back in that was when they started hating on me was 2008. They wanted me to sign my image and likeness rights away for $0
how long would that last for? Just for the fight
forever.
contract? Forever.
Forever.
Oh my
I
goodness.
asked them, I wasn't even asking for money. I asked them to put a sunset clause on it for 20 years.
Hmm. So that's
They said
still they'd
he
still
said
have. Yeah.
they said you're gone. And they did it was a whole theatric release. Like they didn't contact me, they didn't talk to me. They had the press ready to go in the morning to start blasting this stuff out because there are a lot of other fighters who weren't going to sign that contract. They weren't going to sign the merchandising agreement because it was terrible also. And they used that and orchestrated this whole thing to scare everybody else into signing, and it worked. And now they have guys that they're signing, they're forcing them to sign a part of their contract, a promotional contract that they won't join in any class action lawsuits.